Apologies are a large part of social interactions in our world today. When we make mistakes, there's a societal expectation that we apologize, but all too often we are expected to say we are sorry without ever knowing how. This guide is a brief look at what makes an effective apology and some of the common pitfalls people fall victim to in the attempt.
The origin of the word apology coming from Plato's apologia, and that apologia translates in the Greek to a defense or an explanation, a story really of why you've done something, but without any kind of remorse or any kind of regret or a promise not to do anything otherwise, which has come to mean that there needs to be some level of regret or sorrow and maybe even a retribution for the person who has been offended.
To start, people apologize for many reasons. The reason for apologizing is known as the purpose of the apology. Common reasons for apology include guilt, the desire to heal a relationship, empathy for the offended, and the pressure to keep up appearances for society. By finding a reason to apologize, you can start to plan what you might want to say.
The main reason people apologize is because they feel bad or guilty.
Because they feel bad for their actions and they want to make things right.
I feel like there's two main reasons that people apologize. One being guilt, and that's when they feel like it is their fault and they feel extremely bad for what they have already done, and they want to possibly repair relationships.
I think the main reason people apologize is to repair relationships, whether that's between like friends or companies or other nations.
Depending on your purpose, you might consider the parts of an apology and which ones are necessary for your particular situation. Parts of apology include an acknowledgement of the offense, an explanation of actions, an expression of remorse, a promise to change, and compensation.
You really need to address the situation. It's really important. Say what you're going to do to be better. That's super important. And just make sure the person knows that you're really sincere about it and that you really care about it.
I feel the most important part of the apology is the reparations and explaining what you're going to do to prevent it from happening in the future. It can kind of give the person that you're apologizing to some reassurance that it's not going to happen again and that you actually feel the way that you're saying you're feeling.
Once your message and audience are well defined, you need to choose how and when you will make your move. The method of conveying your apology is known as delivery, which includes many components, among which are timing, tone, and style. You want to strike while the iron is hot, but not while you'll still get burned. Word choice and sentence structure can convey your intent, emotions, and sincerity. Finally, choosing the correct platform to reach your audience will frame either complementing, enhancing, or clashing and detracting from your message.
I think it depends on what you're apologizing for. So if it's for something big, like you wrecked somebody's car or you cheated some way, I think that calls for an in-person apology. But if it's something like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm running late, just text somebody. I think that should be fine.
There's two things that you'll have to consider. One is not only the timing for you, say if you are the offender, but the timing for the offended.
An apology is most effective, I think, when you realize it sooner rather than later and then you apologize. Because if time goes by, the person who you offended will probably think that you forgot or don't care.
You need to give somebody a little bit of time to cool off. Immediately might not be your best choice if they're still really angry or upset with you. But if you don't act soon enough, then it's just going to go by, and the more time you let go by, I think the less it could mean to the other person.
While we all hope for a world where every wrong is properly addressed and every conflict is peaceably resolved, there are times when people refrain from making apologies. There are many complex reasons why people choose not to apologize, some of which are fear of consequences, embarrassment, pride, and even ignorance of wrongdoing.
I think the main reason people do not apologize is because they're either shameful of what they did or embarrassed. And to actually apologize, it takes a lot of courage. So I think it's hard for some people to actually come out and clearly apologize for a mistake, especially if it was their own fault.
I feel mainly it's because they don't feel bad for their actions, or they feel what they did was right, so there's no need to. Or sometimes it can be awkward and kind of uncomfortable for people to apologize, so they just choose not to instead.
In reality, not everyone will take steps to fix the inevitable mistakes we all make. However, after watching this video, we sincerely hope that you will not let these fears hold you back from taking the time to right your wrongs. You have the tools to make a difference, but they are worthless unless you put them into action. The next time you make a mistake, remember these parts of an apology to effectively convey your message.